Hi everyone, welcome to this amazing session where we are going to be talking about the Pendle Witches, the witch wound, and we are going to perform an ancestral healing ceremony as well. So thank you so much for joining me here tonight. It's going to be absolutely amazing. All I have got for this ritual is my myrrh incense. You can use any incense that you like, whatever is your favorite. I have got a white candle just burning, and it's my Chalice Well special. And that's just to bring in the energy of peace and the healing energy of the angels. And when we're doing the ritual later, don't worry, you don't need this. I've got a red candle because to me, red connects to ancestral energy because it makes me think about blood and our ancestors. They are in our DNA. There's different types of ancestors, but I won't get on my soapbox just yet. So do feel free to ask any questions at all in the chat box. And that's it. That's all you need in your pen and your journal. So let's start off with a little bit about the Pendle Witches. Let me know in the chat, have you heard of the Pendle Witches? Have you ever been to Pendle? Today, it feels like a really special day to perform these rituals that we're going to do to bring in some healing energy, because it is right. I'm just going to mute everyone. Hang on. All the buttons have changed, haven't they? If you can mute yourself, that would be cool. So today is the anniversary of the hanging of the Pendle Witches. And now I know that's really morbid, but I feel like it's a really good story because it's a true story. It's such an amazing story that people think that it's a myth, but it's actually real. So I've been up there today. It's less than an hour away from where I live, and I've been to where these women lived and all of that. But I feel like, who are the Pendle Witches? So I'll take you back. 1612, there was a young girl. She was around 14, and her name was Alison Device. Some people pronounce it Devis, but I'm a woolly back and I don't. Device. And she was walking down this country road. Well, it was like a forest, really, and it from Pendle to Trawden. And this man from Halifax called John Law, he was a peddler. A peddler was someone who would sell luxury items in that day. So think about combs and pins and things like that. And she asked him if he would give her some pins. Now, she was a beggar. She was very poor. She obviously didn't have any money for these pins. So he kind of, brushed her off, on your bike. Anyway, he said that he's seen, by the way, that remember stories have different people tell stories in the different ways. This mist appears, and through the mist is this big black dog. And the black dog says to Alison, what shall I do? Shall I lame him? And she screams, lame him, lame him. Anyway, this guy, he actually had a stroke. And of course, back in 1612, they don't know about medicine, they don't know what a stroke is, they blame everything on witchcraft. So he gets carried off to this pub, I think it was called the Greyhound. And a few days later, when he can speak, he says, I was bewitched by Alison Device. So, of course, she gets investigated and she actually admits it. She actually thought, because she said, lame him, she was angry with him, she actually thought that she had cursed him. So, this story now, it just goes deeper and deeper, where two families who were at war. Let me know if you know any of the witches' names in the chat. I'm having a quick look. Where are we up to? Someone was there on Saturday night. So these two old ladies old Chattocks and her name, and old Demdike, Elizabeth Southerns. They were seen to be like witches because they worked with herbs. Remember, there's no medicine, so they know how to cure a fever and set bones. That's what it's recorded in history that they could do this. Now, these women are in their 80s. The life expectancy wasn't beyond 35. So people are they're already thinking these old widows, they're still alive. They've got all these medicines. So they were already known. Maybe not the word witch, but healer, maybe cunning folk. I don't know. They were already known, and they were very poor as well. So Alison, under pressure, admits that her nan and mum are actually witches, and she's confessing to this healing, what they do. But she says that they make these clay pictures, and when they want to curse somebody, they make a figurine. So you might be thinking along the lines of like a voodoo doll, but that's not what they called it. They called them clay pictures, and they would put it in the shape of somebody who they wanted to curse, and then they burn it over the fire. The tales even that they had teeth and skulls and all kinds from graveyards that came out during the confessions. In a nutshell, these people who were hanged weren't actually guilty of the crimes that they were accused of. So they were accused of murder by witchcraft, and they were not murderers. Some of them were not witches at all. Just checking the chat. In fact, at the time, King James, it was during the time of the Reform, so he was obsessed with witches, and he branded Catholics the same as witches. They were evil. They needed to be banished and gone. So one of the most famous witches, let me know which was the rich witch. Come on, brownie points if someone knows a name in the comments. I know someone does. Let's see who's been doing the homework. It's roasting in here. Alice Nutter. Yes, Jenny knew. Alice Nutter. It's speculated that she was actually a Catholic, and she was a wealthy woman. But the magistrate, Roger Nowell, she actually embarrassed him because people were stealing bits of her land, and she went to him and he didn't listen to her really. So she went above his head and complained. So he embarrassed her. So it's funny how she gets dragged into this story of the Pendle Witches. Alice Nutter was very, very wealthy. She owned all the land that you could see from the village in Roughly. A house, I've been there today. It's absolutely stunning. So there's no way that she would have been affiliated with the witches, the beggars. So after Alison's confession, her mum, her nan, and someone else, can't remember who else, gets arrested. 4 of them get arrested, and they get interrogated and questioned. So these families come together and they think, right, we need to break them out of Lancaster Castle where they were being held prisoner. So they had this meeting, and it was on Good Friday, and Alison's older brother, James, he steals a sheep. And so you can see it from this outside point of view. They're all meeting, and they've got this, they're making this sacrifice, and it became known as the Black Sabbath supper. Really, they were just getting together, discussing how these have been arrested, these women have been arrested, what are we going to do about it? So they end up all getting arrested, and that's how Alice Nutter gets roped into the story, because who is the witness of this? It's actually Alison's younger sister, Janet. She is the one who says, yes, all my family are witches, my brother, James, the whole lot. And she's basically groomed by this magistrate. She's given beautiful clothes for the first time. She's given a warm bed. So this kid who was 8 or 9 is basically testifying against her entire family, nan, mum, brother, sister. And so they ended up a few months later, after being kept in Lancaster in, like, it's not a dungeon. What, has anyone been in it? In the bottom of the tower. And Jenny's saying yes, she has been stood with Alice's statue. I was there today. And so these people were hanged. I used to say hung, but that's not the right word. It's actually hanged for crimes of all different types. There was actually someone from St. Helens. There's a very St. Helens crew on the video. Isabel Roby from Windle. She became part of the Pendle Witch story. And that's why some people call it the Lancashire Witches, because these people weren't just from Pendle, they were from around Pendle. And St. Helens used to be Lancashire. My nan, when they changed it to Merseyside, my nan would never, ever write that she lived in Merseyside. It was always, it's still Lancashire. Helen, yes, she has heard of Isabel Rober. So these people were hanged on this date today. So why is it relevant? I think that, and by the way, I've just skirted over that story. There's a lot more to it and names that I've not mentioned, but I am aware that I am a rambler. And it's 22 already. It's relevant today because in this story of the Pendle Witches, and it actually extends into the witch craze. So the witch craze was a period in Europe where a lot of people, they don't know whether it was 40,000 to 90,000 people, mainly women, were murdered for witchcraft around 300 to 400 year period. And what would happen is you would get questioned and tortured, and people would say, oh no, I'm not a witch, it's Colette down the road. It's Jenna. And they called it back then fingering, pointing the finger. Now you've got to think that these women were not being, they didn't want anybody to be harmed, but they were trying to save their own lives. So you need to perceive it like that. And this is part of what they call the witch wound. So the witch wound is described as a psychic scar that affects us all, no matter what your gender is. Paul is saying, yes, poor women couldn't have a voice, 100%. Women couldn't even have their own bank card till the 70s, could their bank account. So it created this deep sense of distrust amongst women. Now, you let me know in the comments, have you ever experienced that? Have you ever thought, oh, that clique over there, or you can't, not feeling like you don't belong to a certain part of women? Anita saying far too often. Kim saying they said that midwives were witches too. Jessica, definitely. So I think a lot of us, probably most of us, have experienced that feeling of it being persecuted, and then the other women think like, oh, am I part of this? I don't belong to this. And it's deep rooted. So everything that we have been through in our lives, everything that our mothers, grandmothers, that psychic energy, that is still there. We are connected by a thread of psychic energy. So even though we might not have been trialed as witches, I'm certain that someone in our lineage must have. And so we carry this energy through us. So another thing I want you to think about, is there anything that runs in your family? Something that runs in the family? And take notes, because you've got your journals now. And because there was something that ran in my family when I became aware of ancestral. So there's ancestral trauma, that's the energetic stuff. But then there's the physical stuff, it's the actual DNA. And there was all the women on my mum's side all had terrible varicose veins, and I mean really bad from a youngish age as well. And I got into holistic therapies in my I was qualified by the time I was 19 or 20. And I decided, I put it out there to the universe, I'm not going to have varicose veins. I do not own it. And I wasn't quite sure like how that process worked, but I was like adamant that I was just definitely not going to have this varicose veins. And it's something that I've never suffered with. Have you ever heard people who say, oh, dementia runs in our family, cancer runs in our family? It's like, are we trained? Are we hypnotized to own things? It might be true that there are patterns, but it's also true that there is a chance that we can prevent. We can be the one that's like, oh, hang on, don't want this running through our family anymore. I'm just looking at your comments now. Yeah, it's really funny, Anita. We can manifest it either way, 100%. So I don't own anything that any ancestral stuff that comes through. So I want you to just make a few notes about that now. I want you to write down what runs through my family, and then I want you to break it down into mind, body, and spirit, because it's not just physical stuff. It's not just diabetes, or it's not just that. It's what mental traits. Do you ever think, oh, I sound like my nan, or I sound like my mum? So just take some notes of that now. I'm going to do the same. Gillian said, I feel like I'm breaking a lot of patterns in my family line. That's good. Really good. And Sarah said something really potent. Thyroid, and then she's put in brackets, throat chakra being silenced. That is one of the massive things that women are struggling with right now and throughout their entire life. And it's using the voice, feeling like they have permission to use your voice, because, you know, women have just been silenced and made to be like second best, not as worthy, not on the same level as men. This has been going on since the patriarchy, like, set up. Colette said addiction. Sarah, I was constantly spoken at and not to by my domineering grammar school parent. Mm. Children should be seen and not heard. I've heard all of that. Oh, Claire Stone's here. Do you know, when I see your name, I think, eh? Claire's a pattern breaker too, narcissism in both parents. Anita, even in today's workplace society, I have had incidences in the last 2 months where men at work have told me to be quiet. It's not going to happen. Also, I've experienced a lot of women being poo-pooed by male bosses, people who are higher up in work. If they've got, there was someone who I know who's got endometriosis, and the male boss just has no empathy at all and says, this is just a nuisance. Samsung, both me and my mum never liked anything around our necks. Don't know if relevant. Absolutely could be. Again, it could be a past life thing. Let me know if you believe in past lives. I 100% do. I remember my last life. Maybe you were. So the witches in England were hanged. In Scotland, they were burned, and mostly in Europe, they were burned as well. The Salem witch trials was 80 years after Pendle, but they were influenced by the Pendle witch trials because King James wrote a book, Demonology, and this was like his witchy book. And he wrote in there that children could be used to give evidence in court. And that is how young Janet managed to give all this evidence about her family and her neighbours who were there at the Good Friday feast. Julie, tendency to think good things can't happen to us. I'm trying to reverse that. Yeah. Paula, it's hard. Be good or be battered. Bloody hell. Depression, anxiety, no immune system, not feeling enough. Unhealthy boundaries. Well, that is a massive one as well, isn't it? Unhealthy boundaries with women, because we are taught that we are the nurturers, we are the ones. I actually seen a Facebook post before, and it was meant to be a joke, but I don't miss a trick. And it was the old box for a game called Battleships, and the son and dad were playing the game on the box, and the mum and sister were in the background drying the dishes with the tea towels. It's like, it's just the way it's always been, hasn't it? That women are the caregivers, but now, because women are now allowed to have careers, and it's like the juggling act. I've got to be a mum. I've got to, well, not everyone, we don't all choose to be mothers, but it's having a career and running the family, that not everyone's quite got that balance yet. So I'm just reading all of your comments now. Oh, hi, Wendy. Samsung is Wendy from St. Helens. You're right, Cocker. I always try and pronounce my words fully when I'm on Zoom, because people come from all over the world and they probably don't know what I'm saying. But when I'm back in St. Helens, unable to manage money, that's a good one. Wow. So there is a lot. Thank you for all of your comments there. So you've got them down now, and you can expand on these, looking at the mindsets that you have inherited, any physical things that you have inherited, and then the psychic stuff, the ancestral stuff. So that's from it could be someone who lost a baby or absolutely anything. There's all of that trauma gets passed through. There's some communities that believe that you carry the trauma for 7 generations. Some people believe that. I don't know. I don't know how long it is that we can carry it, but so where in your body are you holding everything that you've wrote down? Where are you holding it? So take note to that now. And it's funny, really, because almost everything that you have a problem with, you can figure out one of these answers. So, ancestral stuff, mind. Sarah said, my mother said, my mind is too imaginative and told me I was a witch. Do you know what? I am reclaiming the word witch as well. Because, you know, you wouldn't want to be called a witch 300 years ago, would you? Because it would cost you your life. But I associate the witch with all of the healing and all of the magic of women. And you can have male witches as well. I hold stress in my gut, solar plexus, root chakra, neck, back, abdomen. Witch, thank you very much. I used to write about witches when I was a child. My mum took the book over and released it. Was glad she reclaimed the word. Oh, wow. What is this book? Do let me know what this book is. I 100% want to know. Yeah, so what is interesting is the witches that were persecuted in the witch craze can be called diabolical witches. So before then, witches did exist. Witches have always existed. It's just the phrase witch has changed over the years. So before the witch craze and everyone was literally petrified of witches and people couldn't explain, oh, there's been no crops. It's rained for 4 years. Oh, it's witches and animals died. They needed something to blame it on because they didn't know any science. And it's just beyond belief, isn't it? Or like Maria and the Witches is a children's book. Right, I'm going to write that down and I'm going to get it. In fact, I'm just going to take a quick photo of it because I've not got a pen. Exciting. So the diabolical witch. So the witches before the scary diabolical witch were the healers, the cunning folk. And ironically, they would create charms and magic against witches. But the diabolical witches were probably not witches at all. And that is just the most ironic thing. They were just everyday women, really. And it was the Bible that, not the Bible, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. That's what it said in the Bible, didn't it? It was when the idea that witches had orgies with the devil and ate babies and fly on broomsticks and all of that, that is when there was this idea of this diabolical witch, what people would be petrified of. They'd be really scared. They actually really believed that they existed. Right, okay. There's people still joining. Blame it on women. My skin, I was born with eczema. Mum thought I was a changeling child. Well, you know, there's a spiritual like meaning for every physical symptom that you can think of. Louise Hay, the queen of affirmations, she wrote the book You Can Heal Your Life. And I'm not sure about what eczema might say, but it could be along the lines of feeling irritated, not feeling comfortable in your own skin. That's what I am thinking straight away. But also eczema, I also love, what's his name? The medical medium, Anthony Williams. I just call him the medical medium. He says that all skin conditions are created in the gut. So yes, people are loving Louise Hay. That was why I wanted to be a Hay House author, because I loved her and Wayne Dyer. So we're just going to recap, and then we're going to do a lovely meditation and a healing ritual. So we've spoke briefly about the Pendle Witches, who they are, what happened on this day. I'm going to read out the names of them as well and light a candle for them. We've spoke about the witch wound. And remember, you can ask questions, by the way, if I've not explained something enough. So the witch wound is the invisible energy, the psychic energy, which connects us to pointing the finger, the distrust amongst women. And, this stems back to like the stories of Adam and Eve, where there's this like toxic, it's got an actual psychology term, but I've forgotten it because I've got ADHD. This toxic femininity thing, where so Eve says to Adam, eat this apple. Adam eats it, and who gets blamed? Eve. It was him that ate the bloody apple. Come on. It was the same when Will Smith hit that guy at the whatever awards it was. I don't watch TV, but I did watch it. I don't know if he slapped him or punched him. I can't remember. Who got blamed for that? Everyone was slagging his wife off. She's not the one who punched that Chris. She didn't, did she? But she got blamed by everyone in the media. And it's this toxic thing that it's just throughout his history. So Heather has put the link for the book in for us there. So, right. I have got these tuning forks, and they're for the root chakra. Can you hear them? No. Never mind. You can never hear drums when I drum online either. Well, I'm going to ding them anyway, and the vibrations will come through the other side. I don't know why they won't do sound like that. It's weird, isn't it? Oh, I can see Colette looking serious now. I think she knows how to fix this. I always get someone to help me. Ding away. Ding. Oh, someone just heard him. I mustn't have been doing it loud enough. Okay, so are you all in a comfortable position? Get yourself nice and cozy with your feet uncrossed, flat on the floor. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and just gently closing down your eyes. And I want you to continue focusing on your breath. As you breathe in, you're feeling more and more relaxed. Exhaling, letting go of the day. Relaxed and calm. And I want you to just gently scan through your body from head to toe, and imagine that there's this lovely, warm, soothing light washing over you, washing over the crown of your head, running down your forehead, straightening out all of the muscles, letting your eyelids feel heavier as this lovely warm light massages down your face, releasing tension from your jaw. Let this energy travel down through your neck. It's like you're receiving this wonderful massage as you breathe and relax and let every muscle become undone. Bringing this light down through your back, through your shoulder blades, down your arms, and your body starts to feel a bit heavier as you sink into relaxation. More and more relaxed, letting go of any tension in your tummy, your legs, your feet. Just let your body feel floppy and relaxed and soothed by this lovely, warm, healing light. And I want you to call in whoever you like to call in for divine protection. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael. Lord Michael before, Lord Michael behind, Lord Michael to the right, Lord Michael to the left, Lord Michael above, Lord Michael below, Lord Michael, wherever I go. I am his love protecting here. I am his love protecting here. I am his love protecting here. And I want you to imagine or sense or intend that these beautiful, gentle, warm hands of light just gently rest upon your shoulders. And you immediately recognize this energy. This is the energy of your guardian angel. Your guardian angel who loves you so much, that has been guiding and protecting you for your entire lifetime. And you might not have connected with your angel before or for a while, but allow yourself to trust that you do have angels. You are loved and you are lovable. And you relax even deeper, knowing that you are held in sacred space. And your angel hands you a crystal, the first coloured crystal that you've seen. Even if you don't know what it is, just the colour is the healing energy that can help you now. Remember that everything is vibration, everything is energy, including colour. And I want you to imagine that crystal is in your hands and see if you can sense a vibration or tingling on your hands. And imagine that crystalline light growing and expanding. And I want you to physically imagine that you've got this healing energy in your hands and just place it into your heart. And imagine it's just popped into your heart, this little orb of light, whatever colour you've seen, and let it float down like a bubble, a healing bubble, to a place in your body that has been holding on to energies that do not serve you. It could be ancestral energy. It could be your own negative or trauma that you're ready to release. But let this healing bubble land somewhere in your body now. See this now. And let the light expand, clearing away cobwebs. And I want you to spend a moment and allow your mind to open. And your subconscious mind will inform you what this is. Why does this need healing? What's going on here? What's been blocking the flow? Receive. Trusting your instincts. Trusting the messages that come through. Remember, you know everything. You are the oracle. Everything is in your subconscious mind. Everything about you. Receive healing information that's going to leave you feeling lighter, with more clarity. And then when you understand what healing needs to occur, I want you to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine that you are sending all of that coloured light out through that little orb, through your entire body. All of the light is beaming out. And I want you to take your awareness to the root chakra, the base of the spine. And remember, you've got your healing, protective guardian angel with you. All is well. And I want you to imagine now that your root chakra, which is the colour red, I want you to imagine that you can see or intend this lovely red portal at the base of your spine. And I want you to imagine that you're like Alice in Wonderland, and you've drank the shrink me potion, and you're becoming this tiny little version of you, and you're there at the gate of the root chakra. This big ruby red crystal doorway is in front of you. You're going to go on to a journey within yourself. And if it feels good, I want you to step inside, open the door. And inside is this red tunnel, and all of these energies are swirling around. You feel totally grounded and protected. I want you to walk this path. And all the energies that are swirling around are the energies of the past. They're the energies of the ancestors. Because of course the root chakra is connected to the ancestors and to the blood and to the bones and all the physical aspects of you. And your angel gives you a little candle. And you shine the candle and you see a familiar face. Someone in the spirit world. Someone who loves you. Someone who is related to you. The silhouette of them just appears in the candlelight, smiling at you. And before you know it, you are surrounded by thousands of ancestors. And you have that moment where you think, I've never been alone. I've always got these lot with me. And your ancestors are always rooting for you. They want you to win. They want you to heal, to thrive and to succeed. No matter what has gone on, in our earthly lives. When we enter the realm of spirit, the illusions are taken away. The spirits of your ancestors that are around you now are the highest aspects, the higher selves of your ancestors. Because, of course, we've all got a few cheeky ones. So you know that you're totally safe, surrounded by the divine higher aspects. And I want you to imagine now that from your root chakra is a thread of energy connecting you. You might see specific people, or you might see all of them. Imagine that you are connected to your ancestors through this thread of energy. And I want you to bring your ball of light, that lovely orb of light that your angel give you, and bring it down into the root chakra and send it out, send it through the threads, and let your ancestors receive that divine healing from the angels. And that light is clearing away all of the trauma, anything that's gone on. You don't even need to know what that is. And you see that first row of ancestors lighting up, feeling healed, feeling better. And they've got a thread connecting to ancestors behind them. And this endless connection of ancestors is receiving all of this cleansing, healing energy, this energy that never runs out, the light never ever dims. And I can just see them in my mind smiling. It's as if the faces are lighting up, receiving this healing energy. What you're healing is what runs through your family, so that you don't pass this on. You don't pass on the personalities that are unhelpful, the beliefs, the belies that are unhelpful, the physical disorders and illnesses, the traumas. And Archangel Michael, or your guardian angel, is bringing in this beautiful big net of golden light. And imagine it sparkling, coming down across everybody. And this net of light just collects any stuff, any last residue that you want to clear and release. And things may be coming into your mind now, and that's absolutely fine. And if you want to, you can ask Archangel Michael with his sword of light, his kyanite sword of light, blue sword. You can ask him to disconnect you from these ancestors. And it doesn't mean that you are not part of it. It means to disconnect you from the stuff. Some people like staying connected. If you feel like you need a good clear out, let Michael use his sword to disconnect these threads that you've sent out around your root chakra. And take a deep breath in, and I want you to sense all of the love. There's relations here who you have never met, who are watching over you and sending you so much love. Maybe your parents are there, grandparents, siblings. And I want you to imagine all of these ancestors stepping back now, so that the only energy in your root chakra is yours. And you might want to imagine it, this gorgeous, sparkling, ruby red light, full of energy, vitality, healing. Say in your mind, I am healed. I am strong. I am worthy. I deserve to be here. I deserve to be healed. All of my needs are met. I am safe. I trust myself. I trust my light and love. And when you're feeling lovely and relaxed and ready to move on, I want you to exit your root chakra, closing that lovely door behind you. Imagine your spirit expanding, totally filling out your physical body. And even though you're expanding and growing, you're feeling lighter. You're feeling much lighter. You've just initiated. Initiate means to start, to begin. Another cycle of healing, another layer of the onion has been peeled away, helping you reach the core of your soul, the core of yourself. Coming back here now, imagining that you've got this beautiful, vibrant aura. Think about that orb of light, what your angel gave you, and send that light out again. Deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in your mind, just say, thank you. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you, whoever you may have called in. Thank you to all of my ancestors, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And thank you, say thank you to yourself. Put your hand on your heart and say, well done. I show up for me. And that helps me to show up for other people too. And take a deep breath in. And when you're ready, in your own time, opening your eyes. And you might want to take some notes of anything that just came through just then. We've done this during Mercury retrograde as well, and that is a perfect time for healing the past. If there's anything you want to ask or say, just let me know in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. And I am going to light my incense and the candle for all of the ancestors. So if you have got any incense and your candle, just give it. Now I'm circling anti-clockwise around the candle, because that's when you're sending something away. And I don't mean to sound that in a negative sense. Oh, hi, Monica. Okay. Yeah, it can be really emotional. It can bring up, I'm glad that you're feeling like you're releasing things from the past. That's perfect. That's what we're meant to do. Put some of that stuff down, you know? What was I going to say? Yes, we are going to light this for the ancestors now. So first of all, I'm going to go to my white candle. And in fact, I'll just give you a minute to take your notes. I'll just give you another sec, because I can see some people are still writing. Tired, tears flowing. That's all good. It's all released. And it's been a really, there's a lot of powerful astrology stuff going on. There was full moon yesterday. So the energies are quite intense. There was a lot of solar storms last week, over the weekend. Chloe seen rainbows. Well, just before I came on here, Chloe, I did a post about, I didn't actually write rainbows, but I used a picture of an angel with rainbow wings. Lucy, I got a message to stop people pleasing. Paula, I got a clear quartz point. It was amazing. My ancestors were all red and turned white. Wow. There was a few that didn't change from red, but Archangel Michael cut their cords. That sounds amazing. Sarah, the full moon is intense for me. Vicky's feeling at peace. Kim felt cold, then hot in the face and emotional. Stone. I've always felt resistance connecting to my ancestors because of my family life in this lifetime. That was the first time I've connected with my ancestors, and it was lovely. You are very, very welcome. And it makes her laugh of the name. Ah, perfect. Yeah, it can be a bit like, we need to remember when we're working with ancestors that ancestors had a human life like us. So, of course, they have an ego, they have a personality. We can't say that all of our ancestors were nice people. There'll be all kinds of every experience you can ever think of. Somewhere in our ancestors will have experienced that, won't they? But that's why I always try and connect to the higher self, because I believe no matter how bad people can be, that there is a spark of the divine and a higher aspect somewhere in there. So that's who I try to work with. Right. Oh, hi, Leah. So I'm going to do this candle now. So if you will just join me, and I just want to say the names of sorry, someone else. Leah got angel tingles because her ancestors turned white as well. Oh. Right, let's gently close our eyes, and or if you've got a candle, light your candle and look in the flame. And I've wrote the list of the Pendle witches here, so I don't want to miss anyone out. So I'm connecting to my angels and guides and loved ones, asking that they surround me now. And I ask that the light of this candle radiates out to all people of the past. Everyone has been harmed. Bring healing and peace to everyone who has ever walked the earth, especially those who were wrongly accused of witchcraft, and the people who lost their lives on this day in 1612, the Pendle witch trials, which included Elizabeth Device, James Device, Alison Device, Anne Redfern, Anne Whittle, aka Old Chattocks, John Bulcock, Jane Bulcock, Isabel Roby, Alice Nutter, and Old Demdike, Elizabeth Southern, who died while she was arrested. She didn't make it to the trial. But we ask that this healing light be sent to them now and to their names. They are still persecuted to this day. They've never been pardoned. So we're sending all good wishes and healing and honouring them and honouring that they were actually murdered. And just imagine the light of your candle shining out, bringing healing. And we're going to light the red candle. I'm lighting this candle in honour of all of our ancestors, everyone who walked before us. May you walk in the light. May we express good qualities that you had. We're happy to inherit your wisdom, your strengths, your courage. And we are also ready to release traumatic patterns, illnesses, disease, and any pain that you are carrying that never got cleared. We are invoking the light to cleanse away the cobwebs and the shadows, and bringing in love and healing to all situations, on all timelines, all dimensions, all directions. And so it is. Taking a deep breath in and lighting your own candle. Blessed be, everyone. So it's been a lovely, lovely night. Yeah, Jack Straw. So there was a campaign to pardon the Pendle Witches, trying to find the date here, 2008, and Jack Straw said no, which is really bad, isn't it? So the witches in Scotland, lots of people who were killed as a witch have been pardoned, but not the ones in England. So I am going to let you all go now because we have been on for longer than an hour. I hope that you all have a lovely sleep. I wouldn't be surprised if you have like some strong dreams. Do let me know. Let me know on the Facebook post and the Instagram posts and stuff. Anything that came up for you. Continue doing your work. Keep showing up for yourself because you're showing up for everybody. Remember that. And thank you, thank you, thank you. What are we doing with the paper? Monica's saying. I think that maybe reflect upon that and you will know if and when it's time to destroy the paper by burning it or putting it in some salt water. But I think it might take some time to like maybe look at it again and think about what the deeper level, because this is just scratching the surface, really. You've set the wheels in motion for this deep healing now. What crystal promotes inner peace and calm? Well, there's loads of crystals, but I have seen a crystal for you, Mira, and it was blue lace agate. I'm going to type that. That is the crystal that will help you. I've just typed it. Oh, I've typed it to the waiting room. Tell you what, they keep changing technology every week, don't they? Group chat. Now it's worked. Perfect. Oh, remember as well to Google whatever crystal you got, Google to find out what it means spiritually. And if you don't know what crystal it was, what color was it? What chakra can you associate it with? So that's your homework. And in October, I am doing a 6-week Reclaiming the Inner Witch course. So if anyone is interested in that, just keep an eye out on the newsletter. So I'm going to love you all and leave you. Thank you all so much. If none of your faces are on this video, I will put it on YouTube with the link for people who missed it. We'll see. So good night. Goddess bless everyone. It was so nice to spend this gorgeous time with you all. And I did take my tooth out in the end. Bye.